This is a look at an Indian supermarket, or actually two Indian supermarkets. This one is Apna Bazaar Farmers Market, and it's on 73rd Street and 37th Avenue, which is about a block away from the number 7 train at 74th Street Roosevelt Avenue in Jackson Heights, Queens, New York City. And there's a bunch of trains you can take to get here. So let's go inside and have a look at what an Indian supermarket looks like. This supermarket is not anything like most supermarkets that people are used to. Just going down these aisles, you see that there's bags and bags of different kinds of, I don't know, grains, legumes, all kinds of stuff like that. Dates, just a lot of really good kind of food for you, actually. You know, most Indian people are pretty thin. A lot of them are vegetarians, and this is the kind of stuff that they eat. Dal, chickpeas, all kinds of stuff. And of course, rice is their big thing. And you see that a big portion of the back of the store here is taken up by bags and bags of different kinds of rice. So I don't know what all these different kinds are, but I like brown basmati rice. That's my favorite. And I'm sure they have it here, but where I live, it's very hard to find. You only find like maybe a small 2-pound bag in like Trader Joe's or Aldi or something like that. You don't see these gigantic 10-20 pound bags. But I'll tell you what, if you were poor and you couldn't afford to eat very well, buy one of these 20-pound bags of rice and a couple of these bags of chickpeas, dry beans, all kinds of stuff, and you could eat very well for very little money. Matter of fact, you'd probably be eating a lot better than most people that have money to spend on more expensive stuff, especially processed food, frozen, prepared foods and meats and stuff like that that have all kinds of preservatives. So they do have that kind of stuff also, and you see here in the frozen food aisle, they do have this pre-packaged kind of stuff, and some of it is even like beef shish kebabs and stuff. So although Indian people generally don't eat beef, I guess, but they do still sell it because maybe some people, Indians in the US, some of them do eat beef, or just for different tastes or different crowds. There's even actually a butcher shop attached to this grocery store, and I'll take a look at that in a few minutes, and they actually sell beef as well. So here the snacks is like puffed rice with spices and stuff, so even the snacks seem to be healthy for you. This aisle does seem to have a lot of snacks, but even so, I don't see many with a lot of sugar in them. You know, like you see in the supermarket whole aisles of cookies and sugary snacks. I don't see that here hardly at all. So it seems like every aisle is pretty much stuff that is pretty healthy for you. I don't know what barley crack is, but it's probably pretty good for you as well. So that's the other thing I notice about this place, is there isn't that much packaging artwork and advertising on the packaging. There seem to be a lot of these bags are just really plain bags that just state what's in there, kind of like you would get in a pharmacy behind the counter. The medications don't have marketing on them. They're just the medications. So if you want to stock up on your spices, this place is a great place to come, because not only do they have every kind of spice, but they come in pretty big containers, and they're very cheap compared to some of the other supermarkets around New York. So this is a look at the small butcher shop that they have here, and they do sell beef as well as goat and duck and chicken. So I don't know who runs this. It seems, Asian lady, maybe, I don't know. But, it's not strict, no beef or anything in the supermarket, even though it is predominantly for Indians. So I guess they cater to all kinds of people, whether they are vegetarian or vegan or eat beef or eat meat or halal and all that kind of stuff. So pretty much everybody shops here, I would say. That's a look at the Apna Bazaar farmers market. Now let's go have a look at the Patel Brothers supermarket one block over and see how that's different from this one or similar. For the longest time, there was just a regular supermarket here. So they've been here a few years, I think. And this store is a little bit more modern looking than the Apna Bazaar place, which is more like a farmer's market, where this is more like a regular supermarket, but with an Indian flavor to it, or Indian customer base mostly. So I don't know where you're going to find a box of peeled garlic like you are here. You can't find that in a regular supermarket. I've never seen that before in my life, a container of garlic like that. So Indians must really like their garlic to be buying it in jars that big. So here you have your regular kind of stuff, your milk, your frozen foods, and you see that this store has, I guess, 3 lanes of frozen foods, whereas the other place only had 2. So it seems like this store is a little bit more modern and more geared towards a little more mainstream kind of clientele. I mean, it's definitely still very much an Indian market, but they have some kind of modern kinds of foods, I would say, more prepared foods, and they even have some Oreo cookies that I seen in one of these aisles. So they cater to a little bit more westernized flavors, I would guess, even though the majority of it is your traditional rices and grains and legumes and lentils and puffed rice, of course, and spices and all that kind of thing. Other than some of the items in the frozen food aisle, most of the food here is pretty much in its original natural state. And so I would say it's very healthy, even though it probably takes a lot of time to cook some of this stuff. Like if you ever cooked dry beans, you know that. So you don't see a lot of quick cook type of things. Also, what I don't see here is a lot of canned items either. There's not a lot of things that vegetables in cans or beans or something like that. Pretty much everything you buy here is to make from scratch at home, and so while it does take longer, it's probably a lot better for you nutritionally and without preservatives and all that kind of stuff. And so you see here you have a couple rows of rice again, and on the side walls here you have some kind of sauces, like maybe some curry sauces and things like that, and even those are in jars and not cans. So still I would say most of the stuff in here is a lot healthier than your typical regular American supermarket, that's for sure. But a lot of people don't have the patience or the skills to actually cook some of this stuff, so that's probably why people lean towards the more ready-to-eat kind of things. And like they say that you should only shop in the perimeter of the supermarket because that's where the fruits and vegetables are and the dairy and stuff. In this supermarket, the fruits and vegetables are in the middle, not on the aisles, not on the perimeters like most supermarkets, which is different, I would say. This is probably the first time I've seen that. And here on the left is actually some sweets, some Oreo cookies and Keebler fudge stripes and stuff like that. So they do have a small amount of some typical American kind of sweets and sugary kind of cookies and snacks, but it's tiny as a percentage of the rest of the food in here, which is, I would say, much healthier than most supermarkets. So now I'm gonna get myself some free ice cream and get out of here.
41, 42, 43, Vadilal ice cream. Indian ice cream, no eggs, no preservative, no artificial flavor, mango.
Awesome, thank you.
The best American Indian ice cream.
Free ice cream. Can't go wrong visiting Patel Brothers grocery. Let's taste this. No milk. Not bad. Tastes kind of like a creamsicle, mango kind of flavor. Pretty good.